Devils, here we are. The time is upon us. Pre-season is finally over. The Premier League season is right around the corner. I'm very, very excited. Joined here today by Rebecca, Justin and Adam, and we're going to be talking Swansea. Hello guys, how are you doing?
Hi guys, you alright?
Thank you.
Right, first of all, we're going to go, before we go on to the actual match, we're going to do one pre-season positive each. Because although it has been a decent pre-season, it's all been a bit doom and gloom in the press. No big signing, the Rooney thing going on. So I'll go first, keep it simple. Wilfried Zaha, he's looking in pre-season. It looks like he's going to be starting a few games in the Premier League, which is great. And it looks exciting. So we'll move on. Rebecca, one pre-season positive from you.
I'm going to go for the impression the youngsters made on tour. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they came in, showed no fear. Jesse Lingard and Adnan Januzaj especially, obviously, have come in, and it was great to see Januzaj get reward for his pre-season with an appearance at Wembley.
Yeah, indeed. Justin?
Strangely enough, I think it was a bit of a bonus to see Anderson complete 90 minutes more than once or twice. That was probably the biggest shock of the pre-season, but also something that maybe, just maybe, that we can take some positives from.
Adam?
I was going to say, similar to the point Rebecca made, but I was going to single out Adnan Januzaj as well. I think he's going to be an incredible talent. Belgium are churning him out at the moment. He's quick, fleet-footed, can pass with both feet. I think if he strengthens up, he could be a talent for us in the next few years. So I'm excited to see how he does.
Okay, we'll move on to the big game on Saturday now. We'll talk Swansea. Adam and Justin, you both give me your lineups. Adam, do you want to talk us through yours?
Yeah, I've gone David De Gea in goal. Don't really need to explain that one. And then I've got Vidic, Rio at centre-back, Ever at left-back, and because of Raphael's injury, Smalling at right-back. I was tempted to go with Jones, but I feel Jones is more open at right-back, and on the turn he doesn't seem too comfortable, so I think Smalling will be better there. Sitting in the centre, I've got Carrick and your boy Anderson sitting there. Hopefully get another 90 minutes out of him. And Kagawa just ahead of him, linking those two and our striker with Nani and Zaha on the wings. I know Nani's got a groin injury, so he's touch and go, but I'd love to see Nani play and Zaha, two very quick wingers. And then your boy Robin Van Persie up top.
Of course. Justin, yours differs only ever so slightly. Do you want to walk us through through the changes in your team compared to Adam's?
Yeah, I've gone for Jones at right back. I was tempted to go with Smalling, but I just think at right back Smalling doesn't always do himself justice lately. I think he looks far more comfortable at centre back. So I put Jones in there. Pretty much the same midfield. Kagawa just off Robbie Van Persie, but I've gone for Tony Valencia on the right hand side rather than Nani, because I think Nani was carrying a bit of a knock, and also I think Valencia he might have a little bit of a point to prove after last season. I'd like to see him start.
I do, I agree with that. Rebecca, what do you think of those two teams? Would you make any changes?
Yeah, I'd probably agree and play Kagawa up there. But looking at pre-season and what David Moyes is doing, I don't actually think we're going to see it differ a lot from last week's game at Wembley. I think you might well see Danny Welbeck in there. I'm not sure whether he thinks that Kagawa is fit enough yet to start a game, so I think Welbeck might retain his place there. I think you might see the exact same 11 that started at Wembley. Apart from Smalling, I've gone for Smalling. We'll go in right back, and Rio Ferdinand to return in the centre of defence. But the front six, I've gone for exactly the same.
One thing that I wanted to ask as soon as I saw the lineups was what you guys think about Rooney. Obviously, technically injured at the moment. Not the whole transfer saga. We'll leave that for now. We've had enough. But say if he plays for England on Wednesday, which it kind of seems like he will, do you think he'll be on the bench? Do you think we'll have him on the bench, or will he leave him out of the team altogether? I'd like to see him on the bench personally.
I think Gerrard said today he's spoken with him and he's definitely injured or carrying a lack of match fitness. So I can't see Rooney being involved until, if it is staying at United, I can't see him being involved until after the transfer window, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see him play against Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Just for entertainment purposes.
Rebecca, you started to say something there.
He'd love to see him play against Chelsea so that he could try and ensure that they get 3 points, so that when he comes I, to be honest, can't see him playing for United again until, it sounds ridiculous, but it's a bit like the Luis Suarez situation. You can't see him playing for United again unless he actually comes out and says what he's not going to say. He's not going to come out and say he wants to stay because he doesn't. I think that's plain and simple. Because if he wanted to stay, he'd have come out and said it already. He definitely can't. But he definitely, well, I could be proved wrong, but he definitely can't be anywhere near the side on Saturday. Sorry, just for the small point of what it'd do to the dressing room.
Very true.
Do you want a player in there? Do you want a player in there that they know doesn't want to be part of them anymore? I don't think
Indeed. So. Justin, you made a video on Rooney on the subject in general.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the subject?
Well, when I made the video, it wasn't quite as clear that he wanted to leave as it is now. But I still think if we can get him to stay, and if he wants, if he realises that we're not going to sell him and he wants to play for us, I still think he can be an asset. But like the guys say, I just can't see him playing on Saturday. I think that'll be a game too soon. Even if he wanted to play, I don't think he's played enough games. So I think he will end up staying, to be honest with you. But I don't think he'll play on Saturday at all. I think that's too soon.
I agree with you all there. Right, we'll move back to Swansea and their team and kind of the threats they offer. Obviously, we know about the now familiar threat of Michu and what he can do, but obviously they've got the new striker Wilfried. I'm going to say Boney, but it could be it could be either way. Who kind of he seems to be comparing himself to Drogba. I mean, that's who he wants to model himself on. What do you guys think, Adam? Threats.
I think there'll be a threat. They have strengthened, and obviously Laudrup's been there an extra season, so I think Swansea will be very good at home. I do think we'll win because I think Moyes will really get the lads up, and without, we used to start slow under Fergie, but I think the players will be raring to go and have a point to prove. But they've strengthened in midfield, even though they picked up like an ex-Scouser in Shelby, and they got Wilfried Boney as well up top, or Boner, whatever his name is.
We'll stick with Boney.
Yeah. And I think they will prove a threat, but. It'll be a good game. I think we'll both play very good football, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think what you always find is that teams that have to start early to play in Europe always seem to hit the ground running quick at the start of the season. And obviously Swansea have had to play a couple of European games already, so they may well be sort of more up to speed than we are. But not that can cause much of a problem. I think the players, as they have been all pre-season, will be keen to impress. You've seen from a lot of players a desire to prove something to David Moyes, because of course everybody's starting on the same level playing field. So I think we're going to see a continuation of that.
I mean, Swansea have looked really impressive pre-season. I've seen them a few times. I know they've not played the highest calibre of opposition, but they've been battering teams, and they did well in Europe. I think they won 4-0 against Malmo, and so they have, like Rebecca was saying, they have hit the ground running. So I expect them to cause quite a few problems, to be honest with you.
Well, Justin, I'd like to ask you, obviously we've got a very difficult opening run of games. Would you see this as one that we really need to win? Obviously take a bit of pressure off Moyes, just in case the next few fixtures don't go too well, and to help us kick on, start the season well?
I don't think we need to win it as such. I mean, we drew there last season, and I think, like I said, Swansea are a good team. They've added players. They caused us problems both at the Liberty and even at Old Trafford. Michu caused a lot of problems, and it was actually a relief when he got sucked off. I was a bit surprised by that. So I don't think it's one we need to win. I think obviously you want to win, but if we get a draw, it's not the worst result in the world at all.
I don't think it's a case of need to win in terms of title race or anything like that. But I just think in terms of confidence and in terms of, I mean, we all know what's going to happen this season. As soon as United drop points, lose a game, it's going to be crisis, Moyes, etc. And I think just for especially because the next game is Mourinho coming to town. We don't want to be going into that game on the back of not getting 3 points and on the back of what will be a media backlash if we don't win our first game. And that's, even though it's a tough game, and any normal season would be a tough game, even with Sir Alex in charge. Obviously, we only got a draw. But I just don't want to be going into that Chelsea game with a whole furore. We're going to have the Rooney thing all week, and I don't want to go in with the added thing of not having picked up 3 points.
Right, guys, we'll go on to predictions now for the game. I'll go first. I'm going to say 2-1. I'm feeling 2-1. I feel a victory. I'm confident for a victory. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm feeling it. Justin, what are you saying?
I've gone for 1-1. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go out there and I hope we win, obviously. But I just think with the pre-season they've had and some of the players they brought in, I think Swansea's always a tough game. And I've just got a feeling it might take United under Moyes a little time to get going.
Rebecca?
Yeah, I'm similar. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to go for 2-2. I think Swansea play the game in the right way. They will attack us. It's their, first home game in Premier League, new Premier League season, so they'll be keen to impress. Laudrup likes his team, as I say, to play the right way. He'll have them firing. I do think we will, hold our own, and yeah, I can see a draw because I can see us conceding a couple of goals.
2 draws there. Adam, come on, leave us on a good note.
I think we'll win 2-1. I've said previously as well, I think we'll do well simply because the pressure is on us a bit more this season. I think if in pre-season we've played a lot of good passing movements, but we haven't had that link between midfield and attack. And if we can get Kagawa in that hole, I think we will open them up. So I expect us, well, I don't expect us to win. I think we will win 2-1. So yeah, 2-1 United.
Okay, guys, that's brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us today. You guys watching at home, get your comments in the comments box below, and by all means, subscribe. We'll have more previews next week. See you next time.